People, Deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Now, obviously, yesterday, Arsenal defeated Manchester United a goal to nil. But actually, before that game, or I believe it could have been on the Friday, I've been very late to react to this news. We saw that Huss Fahmy, the contract negotiator, or the individual that's typically charged with dealing with contract renewals, or once I's have been dotted and T's have been crossed and he's given a mandate and a figure to work with, going closing deals down, whether that's keeping man at this club or bringing in prospective targets, has left Arsenal courtesy of that this has been revealed, courtesy of The Athletic, and he's left as part of further restructuring plans. Now, as we know, we've seen Raul leave, we've seen long-lasting scouts leave, we've seen a lot leave, and now I'm seeing a contract man leave. This tells me once again that, less people, more specialists, and again, I think it further hands control to Edu and Arteta in terms of contracts. Again, he's not leaving straight away. Apparently, there's a tying-on period, which could be a month or two, but it leads me to believe, more responsibility for Edu and Arteta, potentially more stick, because again, obviously, whatever, Edu is a sporting director, so to a degree, his job will touch on the vague stuff that Huss Fahmy does. Huss Fahmy is probably, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, the nuts and bolts. And to a degree, Edu, I don't know if he's got any qualifications, but Huss Fahmy, did he not come up as a lawyer and all of these things? Edu was a former footballer. You can't, in a matter of years or whatever, you can, but you can't just become that sort of thing. My man's a specialist, so how much of his role can he undertake himself? I'm not too sure. Or is it a thing where Huss is gone, Edu, you're going to do certain elements of his job, my man, you're going to do certain, Vinay, you're going to do certain elements, Tim, is it Tim Lewis or whoever, Stan Kroenke's guy who's been overseeing the audit, he might say let him do it, and his job roles might be spread against other people, like you've seen with the scouting and whatnot. Edu said we need to be doing more stat DNA. He's also said when people call Arsenal or whatever, they need to speak to me, not bare different people saying bare different things. So I don't really care, because I'm not going to lie, I've spoken to a couple of agents and some admire him, and I think The Athletic will kind of, I haven't read the article, probably will go through this. Some question, some call him a bit of a stickler and say he can be a bit difficult to negotiate with. I know a lot of players that have left Arsenal, and let me not talk too tough, but there is some credibility in what the article is saying. But let's stick to what's actually said in The Athletic. Apparently, Arsenal's top contract negotiator, Huss Fahmy, will leave the Emirates. The Athletic understands that Fahmy, who joined in June 2017 from Team Sky, has become the latest member of the club's hierarchy to agree to his departure after a spell of significant restructuring. Fahmy will stay for the next month to conduct a handover before completing his exit. As you lot know, he's the club's head of football operations and assisted with completing contracts and talking to agents. Raul Sanllehi, the formerly departed Arsenal man, former head of football, described him as a talented and highly capable leader of our football operations. So to see a talented and highly capable leader of a football operations departing, what's being said? Is he not doing his job as good? Is it a thing where he's doing the job to his best of ability, but we don't need him, we can save money elsewhere? Is this with COVID? Is this just with restructuring? Is this a power play? Because I don't know Huss Fahmy, but I don't think was on the Michelin tap thing trying to be the top dog. So is there that? Or is it just, okay, cool, you've done well here, big up you, big up Raul Sanllehi, big up, everybody who's been here and the long-lasting scouts, but we need to change what we're doing, and we just feel with you, it's not a thing right now. We're paying you a lot of money, and I don't think, it's not that you're not justifying it, it's just, it could be spent elsewhere. Business is business, sort of thing. Apparently, sources close to the club have suggested that they are unsurprised by this development, with Fahmy becoming a more marginalised figure of late. So if he's becoming more marginalised, having less of a say, then of course it makes sense to get rid of man. But also, the more people we have that are experts in collaborative things, the more that we can protect ourselves against things we don't know sort of thing. I can't imagine we don't still have these people and we won't have consultants and things like that. But we'll have to see. So yeah, it's become marginalised. It made sense. The club has been going through a streamlining process over the course of the year, as you lot know, with the recruitment department under particular focus. What does this mean for Arsenal? Arsenal still have a strong leadership team with manager Edu supported by technical director with Mick Arteta, manager supported by technical director Edu and chief executive Vinay Venkesham. The club also have a highly experienced legal department capable of handling the magnitude of contract renewals. The likelihood is now that Edu will take responsibility for handling the vast majority of negotiations, which again, you know, Edu is a football man, he knows what people are worth, but when it comes to dotting I's and crossing T's, he's going to need to, obviously, which he's no idiot, surround himself with other people to get things done. And you know, I don't necessarily mind that, really, to be fair with you. As you lot know, Francis Cahegio's left, Sagne's left, Peter Clark's left, Brian McDermott, scouts of Arsenal have also left. In the summer, we made 55 staff, including some of these names redundant, obviously as in relation to COVID. Sam J. Dean has said, the journalist has said, Huss Fahmy has left Arsenal and the club will be hiring a head of football operations to fill the void on contract negotiations, but not as senior as Edu, Mikel Arteta and Per Mertesacker, as they lead the football side of the business. So there will be someone skilled or as skilled potentially as Huss Fahmy, but I don't want to say their significance because that's not the right word, but or importance, but they're sort of, you know, their importance is marginalised. Like, it's just a job thing. You're not really a senior man, so there's less heads at the table, there's less chefs in the kitchen trying to mess with the soup sort of thing. All I can do is say thank you for your time, Huss Fahmy. You know, you hear that you was involved, obviously, with bringing Aubameyang here and helping to negotiate his contract, the renewal. You, in addition to Raul Sagné, of course. Listen, I have no doubt that you acted with intense integrity and did this job to the best you can. And obviously, just without all of that, anyone that's worked for my club, you know, and done well, I want them to have to do what they can. And, you know, he's worked for Arsenal, he's worked for Team Sky. Who knows where his career will take him next, because he's had such a diverse career, really. But, you know, congratulations, well, congratulations not the right word, but, you know, congrats on your whatever your next career move is going to be, and thank you very much for your time at Arsenal. And I'm keen to see how the restructuring continues to take place and if any other people will lose roles. But I should have spoken about this over the weekend. Huss Fahmy's left. Well, he's technically left. He's still staying at the club in a gardening sort of period role as they bring in this next person to do his role and whatnot. And that's testament to him. He could have just said, in fact, no, he might be contractually obligated to, but he could have just said, F it, I'm busting out, because he probably has to give a month's notice. He's just serving out his notice period as the club find replacements. And the quicker we get these things in place, the quicker we can start moving forward as a club. The quicker the restructuring takes place, the quicker we can wholeheartedly focus on learning from hindsight and applying better foresight for us, whether that's from previous, you know, sporting failures or successes on the field, contract sort of stuff, you know, missing out on targets. Because, you know, for me, you know, our negotiation, whether it's been scouts identifying targets and not being taken seriously, or negotiators sitting on their hands or trying to do too much at once or not doing enough, I've seen a lot of targets missed. For every guy that, you know, you've activated the release clause of Thomas Partey, 45 million. I'm happy. We're eventually here. But we've lacked that sort of presence since Vieira. I'm not comparing them since Vieira. How many players have we missed out on for a variety of reasons? Big up Gabriel. We've got him for 5 million up front, 27 million or 22 to 27 million or whatever as a whole. And that's to be spread out over the rest of his deal. But for every Gabriel, how many centre-halves have we missed out? And I'm happy with Gabriel, but how many targets have we missed out for years? So can we, when we find man, go and get them? Do you get it? We can sit here all day and talk about we should have got this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, the other guy, you know, go out and get these things done. When I see you grabbing Tierney, when I see getting Partey done, fair enough, it took forever. Gabriel done. You saw a man that could help us, that needed a, you know, that is not the finished article, but can develop as the team is developing, not signing for the biggest of fees. Get it done. You know, that's what you want to see. Can we react? Can we identify targets better, earlier, and get them done quicker? You know, even with the Aubameyang stuff, I'm happy Aubameyang's here for the present. He's what, 31, 32. He's not going to be here forever. Are we looking at targets from now so that if we're not going to scout them, we're looking at them? Because even with Aubameyang, Arsenal was scouting Aubameyang for years before he came here, and many other clubs. Are we doing a thing with that for the next generation so that when the time comes to move Aubameyang on or marginalise him, the next man's there? Or, you know, Lacazette, you know, you can't underestimate what Lacazette brings to the side. He might not be a great goal scorer. That man there, are you bringing him in? Saliba and Gabriel are the centre halves, but you look at, you know, if Mustafi, David Luiz, Socrates, not that I care, but all three of them could leave based on their contracts, you know. As much as I believe in Saliba, you know, I don't really care for Gabriel's age because he's putting in a performance. One might say we need another experienced man. Go and get them. You know, it's even emerged over the weekend allegedly that Pablo Mari's fee isn't even 15 million. It's 4 million. So can we do little shrewd additions like that? In fact, let me find that as I'm speaking to you lot, people. because I saw that floating on Twitter. I'm trying to find it for you. Oh yeah, apparently people, the Flamingo vice president said that the deal that saw Pablo Mari join Arsenal was actually worth 4 million, contrary to reports saying it was obviously 15 million euros. You know, they obviously made a small profit, having made 1.5 million on him, and we'll never truly know. On the topic of Mari, I would like to see him get more of a look in, but he has to stay fit and whatnot. So we'll have to see what we're saying, man. But in relation to this is all I've got to speak about, people. So it is what it is, man. On that note, as usual, it's always a pleasure. But for now, DG, I'm out.